Okay then, a Tiger Wood and Resin platter. Right, on the lathe I have a piece of Tiger Wood. It's only about 1.5 inches thick, heading for 2 probably, and it's a little over 12 across. This is something I've had in my head for a while, is to try this. Well, not exactly a while, a few weeks since I tried since I was doing the one a few weeks ago. With the colour shift stuff, and I tried this bit where the colour shift shifted a lot when there wasn't much under it. Now I'm not going to be using colour shift resin on this because I have another idea for this, but that gave me the idea for doing this, right? And that, and ever since I did the Art Deco bowl, I've become really fascinated with the contrast between angular outside and the curve inside of the bowl. Now, if you haven't seen the Art Deco one, I'll leave a link up there and a link down below to it. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a platter that's angled on the outside, has like the normal bowl shape thing just in the center here, and then I'm going to accent it with resin. Right, so if it comes out like it's in my head, it should turn out pretty nice, but that's the thing, if it comes out like what's in my head. You know, as I said, I'm gonna angle the outside, so first thing I'm gonna do, we'll just save time, of course, I'll round it off and put the tenon into it. See how that's cutting. Yeah, it's cutting fine. Right, I'm going to put the air shield on because this is really dry Tiger Wood. Right. Knock off the corner first. Now I want a shallow corner on this, so I also want a slight foot in it. So I'm going to cut in an eyeball of foot. Right there. Now what I want to do is I want to get down to that foot as quick as I can. Because I want 2 angles in the outside of this. So I want to get the angle out to the rim first. Going to be a much shallower angle, and I also want to leave a flat rim on it as well. Now I want to start getting that second angle into it, so I need to bring this one, I need to start working this way. So I can get the second straight angle in. Down to the foot. Yeah, it's getting there. Right. Now I want a shallower angle out here than I did then in there. So I'm going to have to cut the wrong direction again just to get the angle I want. With it. Yeah, that'll do. Now I want to get an angle from there up to there. There's a curve after coming into that, so I need to straighten that out. Just need to put an edge on this. Foot, yes, that's right. Well, if you look there, there's a slight curve there, and I do not want the curve there. I want that to be really angular. I want it to come into a sharp transition. Something like that. Yeah, that's the look I'm looking for. Yep, that's the shape I'm looking for. Angles, all sharp angles on the outside of this. Right then, I shall sand that, and I'll be back in a sec with the Yorkshire Grit Bit. Alright then, this week's Yorkshire Grit Bit, and in this legend you will hear the name you've heard before, the name of Fionn McCool. Right, now this one legend is called The Pursuit of Dermot and Grania. Right. Now, long ago, the most beautiful woman in Ireland was the daughter of the High King Cormac MacCoit, and her name was Grania. And many, many men had tried to secure her hand in marriage, but Grania wasn't interested in any of them, until the great Fionn McCool arrived with his proposal. Grania quickly agreed, and the High King deemed that Fionn was worthy of his daughter's hand. Later, there came a huge feast to celebrate the engagement, and people came from far and wide to attend. In this crowd of arrivals were some of Fionn's Fianna, one of which was his nephew Dermot. During the great feast, Grania was introduced to Fionn's men, including Dermot, who she immediately fell totally in love with. She became obsessed with the boy and decided that the only way she she could spend more time alone with him was to drug everybody else who was at this big gathering, and then she could spend time with this young man. Now, it's not written down, or nobody knows what she actually is supposed to have used, but after a few minutes, everyone in the hall began to fall asleep, with the exception of Grania and Dermot. Grania then went to Dermot and told him that she loved him. Now, all credit to Dermot, out of loyalty to Fionn, he spurned her advances. Right, but she kept at him, and after much persistence from Grania, he finally agreed, and they left the party together. After some time, the guests in the party began to come round, and panic ensued. Where was Grania? Then it was noticed that Dermot was also missing. Everyone's first thought was that Grania had been kidnapped to torment her father by one of his enemies, and that Dermot had tried to intervene. After some time though, with finding no signs of a struggle or anything else, it became apparent what had happened. Fionn and the remaining Fianna pursued the love-struck couple across the country. The pursuit took over a year, and when Fionn was finally closing in on the now heavily pregnant Grania and Dermot, the couple had been married in a secret ceremony soon after fleeing the party. Right? Grania sensed something was wrong and again fled. This time they got as far as Benbulben in County Sligo. Right, now Benbulben is a really weird looking mountain here in Ireland. If you look it up, I'll put a spelling down below for it, and you'll see what I mean. It's like an escarpment. Now, Dermot knew he had to find some shelter for his wife who could go no further, and especially as the weather was the worst that had been seen in Ireland for years. There was a layer of snow on the ground. In the distance, he spotted a cave. It's now believed that he spotted what he actually seen was the Caves of Cash, because that's in that area, and the couple made for it. Suddenly from behind they heard a grunting sound, and there stood a large wild boar. Protecting his wife, Dermot charged the boar, and this bloody battle ensued. Dermot eventually killed the boar, but not before the boar had managed to gore him really badly. As Grania held Dermot, weeping at his coming death, Fionn and his men stumbled across the scene. Now Grania, knowing Fionn possessed the magical powers of the Druids, begged him to help, as she knew that simply drinking water from Fionn's hand would cure Dermot. Fionn, still feeling a lot of anger towards Dermot due to his betrayal, refused to help. Right? His men then began to beg him to help their fallen comrade, and again Fionn refused. It was only when Fionn's son Uiscin asked and begged of his father did Fionn agree to help. Fionn went to fetch water, but by the time he returned, Dermot was dead from his injuries, and Grania was left alone to bring up the baby, shunned by all of her family and by Fionn and na Fianna because of her betrayal. And her and the child went and lived a pauper's life. This is one of those old Irish stories that kind of have a moral to them, and the moral is not what you actually think it is. Right? The moral is, once you give your word, it should be kept. Basically, your word is your bond. Right, so I'll keep doing this, and I'll be back when I'm doing the wax. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, just buffing the wax off. It's turned out very nice, and I got a nice fluke Wasn't aimed for, but it worked. Where most of that foot has actually got a white in it, and there are some nice flashes in that. That really did turn out nice. Alright, so I'll flip this over, and then we get to the interesting bit. But I do like that shape, that angular shape on that. Right, we flip this over and we get to the good part. So I'll flip it over and be back in a sec. Alright then, first thing I have to do is face this off, of course. And very, very slightly too low. The facing off on this one is quite important that I get it just right. Check in my face. No, it's a little tiny bit there. Right, now platter wise, I'm going to use thirds roughly. So about there. So that's the inside of the platter. That's a rim. And that's another rim. Right. So now what I want to do is I'm going to hollow out a slight flat just there. There's a very, very small flat, very shallow. What I have in my head, that's plenty. I'm just going to mark that as well. I'm going to mark that one. Now I've got to take that out. Still a slight rim there I have to get rid of, and I want to keep that side square, so I'm going to use the parting tool to take it down to the edges. Let's come out another slight bit because I can still see that pencil mark. That's better. Now, what I'm going to do hopefully now is fill that with resin, that dent. I'm going to need to sand that a little bit. There's a couple of just touches in that might need a bit of sanding. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit that with sandpaper. There's a couple of tears there from using the parting tool and scraper mode. So I'm just going to give that a quick sanding. And it's not going to take much to do it. Just a quick hit with a piece of 150 will actually do it. I'm deliberately staying away from the walls that I'm after creating. That'll do it. Now we'll take it off, leaving it on the chuck, of course. Make sure those edges are clean. Which they are not. I'm going to hoover that off because I want to make sure there's nothing in here that's going to interfere with this resin. Now we'll mix up the resin, following all the safety protocols. If you haven't seen the safety protocols for resin, I did it in a video ages ago. Right, I'll leave a link up there for it and below. Right, so I'll mix up the resin off camera and I'll be back in a sec. Right, and here's the resin. The colour is Cosmetic Pigments Deep Blue, and don't forget the discount code down below. You can get 15% off stuff in Cosmetic Pigments. I may not have done enough. We'll hit this with the heat gun and see if it spreads out. If not, I may have to mix up a bit more. But what I'm watching for is that this does not drip over the sides. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix up some more resin. Okay, now let's get this anywhere where it didn't fill properly. Hit it again with the heat gun to pop the bubbles. Move it around a bit with the heat gun. Now, something in the resin just there. Just need to get out. Got it. Right then. Well, that was nerve-wracking. Making sure that the resin didn't hit the outside of the ball. Right, so now the heat going on low again. And just make sure all those bubbles are popped. Now that it's filled, some sort of little design in it. And we leave that to sit. Get away from that side tube. We leave that resin to sit. So that'll be sitting around for a day at least. Just be a few minutes for you. So we'll see you in a sec. Right now, the resin went off, and luckily it didn't go over the sides at all. I'm delighted about that. That was a bit I was worried about. Right, now what I have to do is level it off, and then we can get the hollowing out the middle of this. I'm going to level it off very careful because, as you're seeing, there isn't actually much there. There's a cardboard. Now, I'll redo that one there in the middle so I know where the mark is. After I get all this stuff off me. Yeah, I'll be back in a sec. I've got to get this stuff off me. It's really annoying. Right then, that messes off me. As I was saying, I'm going to redo this. Make sure that it's in the right place. And now I'm going to hollow that middle bit out. Right then, now we'll sand and finish that bit. And I'll be back in a second. Right then, just buffing the wax off. And it came out really nice. Actually, the resin looks very well now. Now that I know this works, I will doubtless be trying other ones, but make the resin a bit kind of fancier. As a try it or something that popped into my head, this actually worked quite well. Honestly, don't know if I've seen it somewhere before. I know I've seen ones like this that are painted and stuff, like Wayne does them a lot. But one that has resin in it, I'm not sure. I may have done, and it may have just sat in the back of my head. So I'm not claiming to have come up with this at all. But I just can't remember if I have seen it before or not. There we go. So the effects in the resin are quite nice actually. Right, I'll take it off and give you a better look at it. So, back in a sec. There we have it, Tiger Wood and Resin platter. I said I'm quite pleased with the way that came out. Now that I know it works, I can try different things with resin, put designs and stuff on it. And I definitely like the contrasting shape. The angles on the outside and the curve on the inside. Ever since I did that other bowl, I just like that. So there it is. As I said, turned out quite nice. Quite happy with it. So if you enjoyed that one, if you wouldn't mind, click like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.